When I do come, I'm gonna have an arsenal of entertainment. Okay, you ain't gonna do nothing, so I can get close to what I want. However you want it, that's how I'm gonna give it to you. I'm giving it to you just like you want it. I don't know who you beat, I don't know who you lost to. Easy work. Easy work.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with the gang. Ego's Army, channel members, Patreons. What's up? How's everybody doing?
We good. We
Doing
good,
bro.
All right, man. So Lomachenko, he just fought Teofimo Lopez, ESPN. I'm sure most of us watched the fight. It did good ratings. The ratings came back just under 3 million. I want to go. Let's just get right into it. Beans and or steak and potatoes, I guess. We'll jump right into it. I'll start from the top. Ari, or at least the top on my screen. Ari, what was your thoughts on the fight, Teofimo and
It was a
Loma?
great fight, great win for Teofimo Lopez. He just completely, I think, neutralized Lomachenko's offense for the first 7 rounds. I had a 7-zip, and then I didn't give Loma a round into the 8th. But it was a great fight. I mean, I felt like the first half of the fight, Loma was just running. He's being cautious. He felt the power in the first round, so he didn't want to let his hands go. But once, the 8th round hit, it got even more interesting. And we really got to see what Teofimo was made of. He really showed why he's a champ.
Now, I definitely got a shout out to all of the channel members and everybody on last week's call because we all picked Teofimo. So we were all technically right. Teofimo did it. There was no real controversy or anything. What made you pick Teofimo Lopez? And was there anything about the fight or how it played out, even though you got the right person, you picked the right person? Was there anything about how it played out that surprised you that you didn't expect or anything?
I didn't think it was gonna take Lomachenko that long to start fighting. I figured, technically, okay, the first 2-3 rounds, he's like, okay, but then I didn't think that Lopez was really gonna neutralize him for that many rounds. Now, I picked Teofimo Lopez to win by knockout, and I feel like the reason why the knockout didn't happen was because Loma wasn't letting his hands go earlier in the fight. Had he
That's a great plan. That's a great point.
Had he let his hands go earlier in the fight, I think Loma could have taken him out. I'm sorry, Teofimo would have taken him out.
Gotcha. Interesting. New meaning, my guy. L, what's up?
Man, it was a beautiful fight.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Look, we had everybody was like, there was Dick riding, Loma.
Who's everybody? Speak.
Look, man, I'm at the bar at this Ojos Locos in Texas. Okay. And this dude who actually boxes is sitting next to me. He's like, who you picking? I'm like, oh man, I'm going for Lopez. I'm like, I really think he's gonna pull it off. He's like, slams $100 down on the table. We can bet right now. I'm like, whoa, like calm down. Like,
oh dang, he was trying to bet you.
Yeah, he's like, he was serious about it too. I'm like, all right, man, look, Lopez is gonna win. I'm not gonna take your money, but he's gonna win. I was there and I actually I was scoring that joint. I was like, all right, per round. I'm like, look, I'm just looking over at him, like, all right, man, this is round 7 and he ain't done nothing yet. Like literally, he's done nothing. And I'm like, unless he gets a knockout, he's gonna lose.
Yeah, he definitely needs that because you have to look at it. It's a 12-round fight. You give up 7 rounds, You already in a major hole. And see, the thing that I said, and one of the reasons why I picked Teofimo myself was because Loma, to me, he has like respectable power. Like you can't chump him, but he doesn't have like wilder next level power to the point where you want to dig a hole like that.
And Lopez ain't small.
Turn it around.
Lopez ain't small either. That's the thing. People think, in all his fights, in every fight that Lopez has been in, you've never seen Lopez ever get muscled by anybody. And that's what
Lopez, you're saying?
Yeah, you've never
Right,
seen
okay.
Lopez get muscled by anybody, and that's what
That's a good point.
Lomachenko normally will do. You'll see him with the quick movements and everything like that. I think Lomachenko literally got inside his head, for one, realizing that from that last knockdown he got in that last fight when he got knocked down and was all embarrassed, like, oh man, like I just got knocked down. Yeah, he realized he could have got knocked out if that person had the right power. So,
Were you surprised by the outcome? Anything surprise you?
No, not at all, man. Not at all. No surprises. What I'm surprised about, not really surprised about, but we're seeing that Lomachenko now, the shoulder surgery that's coming out and everything like that. Look, man.
We're gonna get to that. Hold on, we can't steal the thunder on that, but I'm gonna get to. I'm definitely gonna get to that. Vasil Loma pack or whatever. Let me go on to my man. We actually got some new people that have joined. Shout out to Chris, Sura. What's up? I had my man Russ that came through, but I don't know.
I'm Russ.
Oh, you switched your name. Oh, okay. Yo, Sura, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, since we speaking, Sura, you picked Teofimo last week.
Yeah,
he was right. Why? What'd you think of the fight?
the way he fought in the 12th round, he'd have got knocked out soon. He'd have got knocked out in those earlier rounds. So I think that right hook in the second round that he got caught with, it kind of shook him, but he had a good poker face.
Was it upstairs or downstairs that you were talking about?
It was upstairs. It was right to the right side of the head. It was the right hook T.O. caught him with. And his legs kind of wobbled a little bit. And then he just moved from there on. And I knew T.O. had too much power, and I knew T.O. could outbox him. So if he'd have fought like he fought in the 12th round, it would have been a 7-round knockout. But it wasn't nothing I didn't expect, man. I expect T.O. to beat Loma, man. I expected it.
I know you did. You said it last week. And listen, the funny thing is, we all got a lot of flack on that video. I seen some people in the comments and they said, oh, you guys are hating and, you can't come back and talk to me next week and stuff. Well, we here next week talking about it and we was right. So salute to everybody. See, listen, the thing with we're doing the easy work Wednesday. It's not about feeling the same way. You guys can, if you differ in opinion, be yourself. Feel free to think for yourself, be yourself, whatever you decide. But, I think everyone was being honest and everybody supported why they felt the type of way they did. And we all happen to be right by picking Teofimo when a lot of people didn't. Like, I guess the thing that was surprising is that people gave Teofimo no chance in the fight. The other thing that was a little bit surprising to me is that on a top-ranked ESPN card, I found myself agreeing with Bradley more than other people, and I normally don't always agree with Bradley. And then I'm from the Bay, and Andre Ward, that's my dude, but I didn't see his scorecard, the scorecard that he had. So, that was different for me. And then the last thing that was a little bit surprising for me was that they got it right with the scorecard. Sometimes you get fights like this, and the person they want to win miraculously has these scorecards. Like Top Rank had a card, Franco versus Maloney, and then the Franco dude, Robert Garcia's dude, clearly won, and they somehow had it split, and you never know what to expect. Even the Postal Ramirez scorecards were a little bit like, I don't think nobody had it for Postal, and I think it was a fight where you could have had it for Postal. But let me get to my man, Prof. I gotta ask you this. You represent Baltimore.
For sure.
Okay, so I know you watched the fight. Yep. Since you from B-More, I see you got the Ravens joint. If Lomachenko fought Gervonta Tank Davis, now after seeing what you've seen in the Teofimo fight, who would you have picked Lomachenko versus T.O. if they fought, let's say, at 135?
You mean versus Tank?
Yeah, if he fought Tank, like based on what you've seen in his 16 fights.
Well, I was picking Tank before anyway, and so
I know you were.
So I definitely would have still picked Tank because okay, I'm gonna tell you this first. Like the fight surprised me a little bit, but then it didn't. T.O. did exactly what I said he should do because, like we said, like I said, like you said, I don't know who else said it, but Loma's a one-trick pony, and if everybody didn't notice, every time Lomachenko tried to do that pivot move, you see how quick T.O. was with that pivot to the left? he negated that shit for the whole fight. The only thing that surprised me in this fight was that I thought that Tio was going to have to rough him up more. And it seemed like in the more aggressive moments, like, the rounds that Loma won, like, when it got aggressive, Tio kind of backed up a little bit, except for the 12th. He stood his ground and dog walked him. But in those like 8, 9 rounds, he kind of let him roughhouse him a little bit. But like I said, I saw Tio winning. The jab was strong, especially early. He kept him at the distance. He negated that angle move. And I think with Tank being left-handed, he'll have an easier time of negating that angle move. Like, I forgot the other left-handed dude. Was it Luke Campbell left-handed?
Luke Campbell, yeah.
Yeah, when he fought Luke Campbell, he didn't have as much success with that pirouette he does. Even though he got Luke Campbell, but it was a lot closer than people want to act like it was.
Yeah, Loma got hurt in that fight.
Yeah,
they both did. But
it was a lot closer than people wanted to say it was. But like I said, with Tank being left-handed and the power Tank got, the speed, the counter-punching ability, I see him knocking out Loma too.
Tank would have knocked him out.
I think if instead of pirouette with Loma, if Tio would have threw a right hand to a spot like a quarterback, like a timing route, if he threw a right hand as soon as he pivoted, he'd have cooked him. Because as soon as he's pivoting, he was just pivoting with him just to let him know that he could do it. But if he'd have threw that right hand to the spot, as soon as he pivoted, he'd have caught him.
That's what I'm saying with Tank. Imagine when Tank, pivot with him and throw the left, because that's his strong hand and it's right there. That's crazy.
To me, too, the thing with Gervonta, like, he does a lot of things. He's special. He's very explosive. He's very, very explosive. So I think the explosive power would, that's going to give Lomachenko all the problems, because you see how much he respected Tio. And, I don't want to take away. I'm just asking you that because you're from Baltimore. I'm not trying to take away from Teofimo's victory. I thought it was a mature performance by Teofimo. Let me get to my man, Stack. Stack, what up, though?
What's up, Ego?
Yo. Good. Hey, let me hear your volume.
Can you hear me?
It sounded a little, I don't know. Maybe turn your volume down.
Can you hear me? Is it better?
It just sounded a little hollow, but you good. What did you think of the fight, Teofimo Lomachenko?
It was a great fight. My prediction was wrong because I thought Tio was going to knock him out by the 9th.
Yo, you picked a Tio knockout?
Yeah. I'm Jay Stacks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I know. It's for the viewer, though. So what happened where Teofimo didn't get the knockout?
Lomachenko fought.
Loma doesn't let his hand go. Lomachenko, what was it, like the first 3 rounds, he threw like 1 or 2 punches.
that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, legit. He only threw like 3 punches in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, he was moving a lot, and he was doing like feints, and like he just wasn't actually. It's funny. Hold on. I just thought of Lomachenko. If you really look at what I'm about to say, Lomachenko, the way he fought in the first gang of rounds, it's kind of what Tyson Fury was doing with Wilder in the first fight. But he didn't do it for 7 rounds, Tyson Fury. So be clear on that. But Tyson Fury, he wasn't throwing much offense versus Wilder because he respected Wilder's punching power in those first 3-4 rounds. He was just doing all that feinting and stuff like that.
I think it seemed like Loma had the same plan whenever you bring up that fight, because it's like, oh, let them tire themselves out. They're not going to hit as hard. No, but Loma kept waiting because Tio kept that jab out there. When he stopped jabbing, that's whenever the fight started changing. When he kept his jab out there, Loma was like, every time he went to do it, he threw his jab. He'd stop. And then he had to rethink. He resets now. And then he throws another jab. And then Loma just kept stopping in his tracks. And then they'll move side to side.
Facts. Hey, Stacks, turn your volume down a couple of notches because it's peaking a little bit on my end. Let me get to Sura, my man Sura. Any other additional thoughts on Lomachenko?
I think that Tio played him, man. Tio played him like a fiddle. Tio had him. They had a perfect game plan. His father was talking about that peer. like he said, that jab kept him at bay. And I'm telling you, he caught, if you look at it again, he caught Lomachenko with a right hook behind the guard in the second round. His legs kind of quivered a little bit, but he stayed up. And I think that kept him, who knows, he might have been hurt.
I think he was hurt multiple times in the fight, and that's what kind of why he fought like that. And the other thing I think that threw Loma off is that Teofimo could box better than he expected. See, he expected some little kid or something like that was just gonna come in here and like Ruslan Provodnikov try to walk him down and stuff like that. The kid was out there boxing, jabbing, and see, people were saying, I seen on like Twitter and stuff, some of the casual fans were saying, oh, he missed a bunch of punches. That's because Lomachenko put so much movement and it's a little bit awkward. So you have to stay busy to keep offsetting what he's doing. See, Lomachenko didn't have early success in the first 7 rounds because it was being offset by the volume. Some of those punches that Tio was flicking out and jabs and stuff, they weren't really they were meant to discourage more than to like hurt Lomachenko. You know, he's just you got to stay busy. Lomachenko's doing all that movement. You got to like make him weary of jumping in and coming in and trying to do the angle thing. So I thought it was a brilliant game plan by Team Lopez.
And I feel like a lot of people didn't give, going into the fight, a lot of people didn't give Lopez the credit for his boxing skills, because he's a very good boxer. And I feel like a lot of people thought that, oh, Loma's just gonna just completely outbox him, which definitely wasn't the case. You know, when I watched that video that when he was sparring Ugas, and that video is a very good example of how good of a boxer, you know, Teofimo is. And a lot of people didn't give him credit for that. And, you know, he did a great job, like you guys were saying, with the jab, keeping the jab out there, making Lomachenko reset, neutralizing his offense. And also, you know, he went to the body a few times. You know, Loma's left side was all red. He kept hitting with that right to the side. And you know, he frustrated Loma.
Yeah, that Ugas video, he was only 19. Yeah. And I think that's why Floyd because he was doing a lot of training in Las Vegas, I think that's why Floyd bet that money on Teofimo, because he knew from being in Las Vegas, you know, being the king of Las Vegas when it comes to boxing, and Teo's been in his gym, there's pictures of them together and stuff, back when he was like 19, 20, and he knew, you know, everybody that watched Teofimo spar knew the kid was talented and had what it takes. And it's not a mystery to me that the first person that Lomachenko fought that was like bigger than him, his size or bigger, with boxing IQ, amateur pedigree, strength, fast twitch muscles, a jab, you know, good fundamentals, amateur experience, that's the guy he loses to, you know what I mean? Or at the very least, we knew it was going to be super competitive. You know what I'm saying? The other guys he fought at lightweight, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, he fought Pedraza, who Tank smoked, and he threw a million punches and couldn't stop Pedraza. Tank smoked him out with a handful of punches. Jorge Linares he could get broke down. He showed you that in the DeMarco fight, and he lost the fight right after. So great mature performance by Teofimo. And I think Loma, let's get to the excuses. So Kevin Iole just tweeted out that Lomachenko, you know, I guess he got confirmation from their team that he's saying his shoulder was hurt or something before the fight. I'm gonna read the tweet and then you guys can have the stage. Hold on, let me get to the tweet real quick. So it'll be on the screen for you guys. Just learned that Vasyl Lomachenko had shoulder surgery yesterday, performed by a highly respected Dr. Neil. Story to come. And he has a couple more tweets. He says, Loma's shoulder, his right shoulder labrum repair, is not as extensive as the first time he had it operated on, and it caused him pain throwing his right hook. Is that cap, or what y'all think of shoulder gate? Lomachenko's shoulder gate.
That's cap.
This cap's packed.
Cap, just like cap I got on my head, bro. Come on.
I think for real, I think he took something out the Gamboa playbook. He got his butt beat.
Pacquiao playbook.
Tried to make up an injury. Because, I mean, if you look at it, if somebody comes into a fight with a shoulder injury, it would be the opposite effect on the fight. in the beginning rounds, they will be active. And then when it starts hurting in those championship rounds and stuff, that's when you're going to slow down.
Yeah,
Which
he
is
didn't
the
do
exact
nothing.
opposite. You know what I'm saying? So if he came in with a hurt shoulder, you know what I'm saying, once he took his shot that he said he took, he would have been numb and he'd have been throwing. And then once that shit started wearing off around round 10 or whatever, he would have been quiet. But that was the exact opposite.
Yeah, he was quiet for the 7 and then came alive in a couple of the rounds in the 8, 9 or whatever.
And they trying to
It's
say
open floor for y'all.
He trying to say that he took some Toradol before the fight.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Because
if he says that, then he all the way Pacquiao. He was still Maniao, bro.
There was a report that he took a shot before the fight to help with the pain.
Oh my gosh! Well, there's a report that Teofimo dogged him.
That's bogus. He just got his ass whooped.
Look, this is a perfect example of old media protecting certain fighters, because when there were reports, that Wilder had an injury, after his last fight, and he had bicep surgery. Well, bicep toe. Yeah, did that same reporter come out and say that? Nope.
No, the same reporter put out
that's the same reporter that made the excuses about the suit.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I never even heard Wilder say that, like actually a video or something of him.
Well, there's no audio, there's no video of it, and in this day and age, when reporters are doing interviews, they're recording everything. So it's a perfect example. And another one is the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman sending Loma, tweets saying, "Oh, come on, man, it's just pathetic at this point, man."
Yeah, man. Jump in. Yeah, it is pathetic. But excuses are tools. Excuses are tools for the incompetent. But those that use them build bridges to nowhere.
I literally predicted that, though. I told you guys the excuses was coming. Everybody's like this "woe is me" attitude because the great Lomachenko lost. You know what I mean? And the funny thing,
you explained it already, though. Think about it. He protected Jimenez. Glumgate came out. He's protecting Fury. Loma lost. He protected him. But then you trying to kick Wilder at a heavyweight.
He said kick him out the heavyweight. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know what the WBC is doing, to be honest.
Man, look, it's a double standard. I mean, I think the double standard is clear. You got the complexion for protection. We're going to do everything we can in our power to make you the star. It doesn't matter if you walk out and not do an interview, with the head down low. Because, if you're a black fighter, then we're going to say, oh, you know what? That was very unprofessional.
Adrian Broner.
Exactly. Adrian Broner stood there and did the interview. And everyone, it's going to be like head of the page with him, memes and everything else, right? But, when Lomachenko does it, it's, oh, he was sad that he lost his belts.
So it's okay, I can do that because in my country, we don't talk after we lose.
But you ain't got to go that far back. Look at when Charlo lost and he said he thought he really won and everything. Oh, he's a bad sport, this, and that. Loma says that they're defending him.
Damn, that's a good point. Yeah, they don't give the Charlos no credit. I mean, we can stay on this topic, but speaking of the Charlos, I got a point to make. But we can stay on this topic a little bit longer. It's just real sad. It's sad to see that the level of desperation to protect the identity and stuff. Like, did the WBC write a letter to Jermell Charlo when he lost his WBC? He lost it to Tony Harrison controversially. A lot of people thought that Tony Harrison won, but a lot of people thought Jermell won. It was kind of split. You know what I mean? Lomachenko handedly lost. Most people on the panel this week said that Lomachenko really didn't do much first 6, 7 rounds. And they're saying keep your head up and all this. Like, come on, man.
Speaking of controversy, because I went back and rewatched this too because there was so many people saying it. How the hell did they give Loma round 2?
I didn't give Loma anything in the first.
Flurry, but did nothing else. That man didn't win round 2.
You know what the storyline I guess for round 2 is I guess he landed one semi like authoritative punch, so they're saying he won the round because that was the best punch of the round. But it's like, so if a guy's working for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 minutes 15 seconds, you erase all of his consistent work because of one punch that was okay. It's not like he had Teofimo rocked or something that was like, you know, a wilder punch or, you know, something that
Exactly.
changed the whole course of the fight.
My thing is, he didn't knock him down, so how you can't take away, you know, did he knock him out? Did he stop the fight? Is that the punch that ended it all? That's what made him win the round and the fight.
And if the punch was so great, then why he didn't do nothing to follow it up in round 3?
Dre scored that the second round for Lomachenko for that one punch, man, and that's real disappointing with Dre, man. After how they played him all his career, and then he turned around and it's almost like he become a company man, and that's my dude, man. I followed Dre. I almost followed Dre whole career, man, and then he went and did that. I'm like, man, what's up?
And it was like,
I can't give Loma no second.
It was like Bradley and Ward switched places that night, like truthfully.
Yep. It was crazy too, because like I said, I was talking to somebody on Twitter going back and forth after the fight, and they was talking so much. I said, man, let me go back and rewatch it. And it was the same night of the fight, like a couple hours later, I went and rewatched just the second round. Loma didn't throw a punch till there was less than a minute left in the round. He didn't throw a punch, not land. He just didn't even throw one. And that was also the same round that T.O. hit him with that hook that
right hook.
Homie was talking about earlier, that Stack almost gave him like mini spaghetti legs for a second. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, how can you possibly do this when I think he landed maybe threw a total of 5 punches the whole round, landed like 2, maybe 3 of them. But T.O.'s jab was working the whole round. He rocked him, gave him spaghetti legs for a second, and you ain't throw a punch until less than a minute in a round. There's no way you can win that round without a knockdown, like you said.
I understand stealing rounds, but that's literally stealing rounds. Like, you just gonna give it to him for one punch, unless that one, like, it would be one thing if it was the punch Mosley hit Mayweather with or something like that, and Floyd was doing good. Or you look at Pacquiao Thurman, you know, round 1, I had Thurman winning the round, and then Pacquiao dropped him. So I understand something like that immediately becomes a Pacquiao round, but Lomachenko wasn't the busier fighter. He actually fought disappointingly scary. I thought he fought like scary, like intimidate, like for all the talk that he said beforehand. He said, I'm gonna make him eat his words, and this guy's all talk. And I expected Lomachenko to like really try to Mayweather Canelo him. That's what they were saying. They said this is gonna be like Mayweather Canelo. Well, it certainly didn't look like that.
No, but if I remember what they said correctly, Lopez was in the Olympics too. He just ain't represented USA. He represented Honduras. So he has that background. He has that pedigree. And that's how Lomachenko fights. He fights like he's still in the Olympics. He fights to score points. That's why he moves so much. He feints, he this, he that, because he's just trying to score points. It's not like the pros where you're actually fighting to fight.
And to completely debunk that whole second round, if you look at the CompuBox number, I mean, I don't follow it a lot, but if you do go back, Loma threw like 4 punches in the first round. Then he threw 11 punches like in the second round, according to them. And okay, out of those, he threw like 12 punches the second round. Out of those 12, okay, they gave him that he landed about 5. But Teofimo landed over 12 punches in that round. So it doesn't make sense. How do you give him the second round when he didn't land more than 6 punches? It's crazy.
Yeah, he would have to do something like real big, like I said, Mosley round 2 or something.
Yeah, it was 5 landed, 11 thrown.
Oh, thanks for looking it up. Somebody's phone going off. The other thing that's confusing to me as a fan is, why are people so surprised that Loma lost when he lost before? Like, this is not the first time he lost. Like, why is it like, I can understand Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas. The initial shock of it is like, oh man, Tyson lost to him. You know what I mean? But Lomachenko lost his second fight. Why is this even surprising? The only reason it's surprising is because people place Lomachenko on this pedestal and it wasn't realistic. It wasn't a realistic platform to beat. I heard the Mark Kriegel or one of them on the ESPN telecast. He was comparing them to like Icarus and like Greek gods and stuff like that. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like Loma lost. He's beatable. He's a good fighter, but there's a style that could beat him. Now, let me know what you guys think. How or can he not come back from this? Like, let me know. How hard is it going to be, or can he not come back? This is an open floor question.
One more thing, Eagle, that I want to add, if you let me. So, I want people to know that this is not, we're not tearing, because a lot of people were saying, oh, you guys, saying that Loma's a bum or saying this only takes credit away from Teofimo Lopez. This is not us bashing Loma in any way. This is not us, trying to take credit away from Teofimo Lopez's win. What we're saying is that Loma was put on this pedestal by certain media members and by his fans, comparing him to, as the greatest thing since Ali, better than Floyd. That's what we're talking about. So by no means we're trying to take credit away from Teofimo Lopez. You just want to kind of make that clear.
You can't take away anything that Lomachenko has done in his career up to this loss. I think partly to blame for people putting him on his pedestal is ESPN and Teddy Atlas, because Teddy Atlas, man, he's the greatest thing ever. He's the great. Yes, he is. Getting in these big argument matches and whatnot, talking about this man. But like the truth and the fact of the matter is who did this man fight? That was literally, let's say, I'll even say, B+ fighters, B+ at a B+ level for him to get, that level of competition so we could see exactly who he was. This is what I said. I said if Lomachenko had dominated Teofimo Lopez in that fight, that man would have had my respect. I'd be like, you know what? Lomachenko just might be on another level based off of the type of fighter that Lopez is. But I doubt it. Like, I was like, I don't see it happening. So, can he bounce back? Time will tell, man. I think Loma's a little bit of a diva. I think he's going to retire soon. I don't think we're ever going to get to see the Tank fight. I don't think he's really going to ever touch anybody at 135 again. I wouldn't be surprised if he moved back down. So,
well, they're already setting that up. Like he's not really. See, and the double standards with old media is hilarious. Like, he fought Rigondeaux, who moved up 2 weight classes. Like my man last week, Ari said, really technically it's probably 3 because Rigondeaux's pretty tiny, he can make 118. And the Rigondeaux fight, everyone said, oh, Lomachenko, he's the beast because he beat Rigondeaux. Okay, there was your opportunity as a smaller man and not even marginally smaller than Teofimo. Rigondeaux looked tiny in the face-off. Rigondeaux looked tiny, like you could see a marked difference. Teofimo and Lomachenko, they look like eye level. I think Teofimo is like brockier, he's more brolic, but they're both in good shape. There is marginally smaller, and then you had an opportunity. This was supposed to be your Mayweather Canelo, and you didn't fight. Like, look, it's not about tearing down Lomachenko, but we gotta speak the truth. You look at certain fighters, especially black fighters, that were on the pound for pound #1 list. They get held to God tier standard. Mayweather, Andre Ward. Andre Ward has a close and difficult fight with Kovalev. People say, oh, you lost. Look at Jamal Charlo. He has a tough fight on a week's notice because his opponent failed a drug test with Matt Korobov. They say, oh, you lost. Floyd Maidana, oh, you lost. Castillo, oh, you lost. But the one thing that I noticed with all those fights, none of them fought like Lomachenko. Ward, he didn't wait 7 rounds to have an offense with Kovalev. Floyd versus Maidana, he was landing surgical shots on Maidana. Jamal Charlo and Korobov, he almost stopped Korobov in the 12th round, and I know he didn't just drop 7 rounds straight. So it was, to me, it's kind of an embarrassing performance for Lomachenko that he took so long to even try to start his offense. And if someone is truly pound for pound, I'm not used to seeing them, no matter who. It would almost be better to get knocked out, because you get knocked out, anyone could get knocked out with the right shot. He lost 7 rounds out of like intimidation and not having the answers You know what I'm saying? So that to me, that's a bit different. Daniel, what's up?
What's poppin', man?
What you think of the fight? Since you just joined us, what you think of the fight?
I think Teofimo cut off that angle he likes, and he gave him something. He said after the fight, he gave him something to think about. Loma wasn't going to run in there all reckless, knowing that Teofimo had something waiting for him. What I think happened is, remember how Mikey Garcia thought Earl Spence was just going to come at him and do all that? Teofimo kept his distance. He learned from that Campbell fight and threw some power at him, and he went to that body. So Lomo couldn't just stand there and analyze him. He had to go, oh, I got to move. These body shots are coming. Oh, he might hit me to the face. And even in the late, when he did start throwing, look at Teofimo stand his ground. He didn't bow. He's like, oh, you know what? It benefits me if we exchange. So it was actually a pretty smart game plan. Also, what you were saying earlier, look at when Deontay Wilder lost. Look how many people want to drag that man to the gutter. But Lomo loses, there's every excuse. This man got injuries. Get out of here. Like, it definitely is a double standard.
Facts. Damn, Daniel Mason came on with something he had to get that off his chest. Shout out to my man Daniel Mason, came on fire.
I gotta step in for a second, because if everybody don't know me, I'm gonna speak my mind, even if it ain't the consensus. I personally am taken away from T.O.'s victory. T.O.'s a good fighter, but I'm taken away from it because I've been saying it for a couple years now. Loma's not that good. He didn't really prove a whole lot to me. I mean, Teofimo is still good, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, Loma's not. And he's a one-trick pony, and that's it. And to talk about the other question you had, where does Loma go from here? I mean, of course, it could be, it's a 50-50 chance. It's one or two things that's going to happen. But he's going to go down to 130. However, I feel like if he doesn't learn another skill, if he doesn't learn another tactic besides that pirouette to the right, everybody else is going to watch this fight and see what Teofimo did. And if he do that against Burchell, who got power, and Burchell know how to step and make that pivot and nullify that shit, he's going to be losing at 132. So that's my thing. Like, I get what you're saying. I'm taking away from T.O., but I'm not at the same time, because I think he's good. But that doesn't mean to me, in my eyes, that Teofimo's a world beater just because he beat Loma, because Loma to me is a one-trick pony. He nullified that one trick and got the victory.
Mark Kriegel calling him Icarus really is a low-key diss.
Man,
Icarus took some feathers and put wax on him and tried to fly up to the sun, equaled himself with the sun.
Melted.
The sun burned his ass, and he fell to his doom. So that's a diss. Him calling him Icarus.
Bro, Mark Kriegel, he be doing the Def Poetry Jam and trying to get them little haikus off. He ain't Icarus, he licorice.
He can come back. He got to go down and fight some people he know he can beat again, like he been doing,
But okay, my man Prophet just came up with a good one. Miguel Berchel, I think he beats Oscar Valdez. That's my opinion. So let's say Berchel wins. Loma Berchel at 130. That motherfucker Berchel big, bro. Who wins that one?
He'll beat him up. I think he'll beat Loma up. Well, he go come in. He go run into those punches. T.O. was kind of boxing him. I think Berchel's going to go in teeth to teeth and try to beat him up.
I don't know about that one. I mean, I think that'll be. I'll tell you what. I think that'll be a lot closer than the Lopez Loma fight. That's for sure. Him going down, he gonna rehydrate. He gonna come back. He's gonna be the stronger man. You got to figure so he just got acclimated to 135, right? He's been fighting at 135. These people are stronger, or quote unquote stronger than the lower weight class or the lower weight division. So if he drops that weight, he's gonna rehydrate. That fight is gonna be a lot closer than the Lopez Loma fight is.
Again, I gotta disagree. I think Berchelt punched harder than Lomachenko if Lomachenko's at 35 and he's at 30. You know what I'm saying?
He punches harder than Lopez.
No, I said punch harder than Loma.
I know.
But here's the thing, though.
But he said he went 12 with Lopez.
Loma he started 132. He fought at 132 most of his career, so 130 and 135 ain't that big of a difference if you already was fighting at 132.
Bars. Yeah, but you know they're gonna make excuses because he
But
had the
he
complexion.
loses to Burchell. If he goes down to 130, he got to go with Burchell, Santa Cruz. Gary Russell might move up there and try and fight you again. Like, yo, who does he beat? None of them.
Well,
Dang.
Eagle, yeah, I think here's the thing. I think Loma is food at 135.
He food. Oh my gosh! All right, come on.
Because
He food.
listen, the blueprint is out. The blueprint is out. So I don't know what happened. So I'm just the blueprint is out. The blueprint is out on Loma. You know, they know what he does. You know, people already know how to stop him. You know, if he stays at 135, you have Tank is there. You have Haney.
What about Ryan Garcia?
Listen,
I think he'll beat Ryan Garcia. I
want to hear. Hold on. I'm gonna start with Ari. Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, 135. If it happened like next, we'll do one at a time though. One at a time. Ari.
You know what it is? I don't think Ryan Garcia has the skill, the boxing skill set that someone like Teofimo Lopez has, but he could still crack. You know, so I don't know. I give Loma the edge on that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like someone like, for example, you know who would be a good fight for him at 135?
You gonna say Fortuna? I already know.
I'm telling you,
that's a rough fight though. He ain't gonna.
That's a rough fight. But here's the thing: Styles makes fight. He's not gonna take that fight. They're not gonna match him versus Burchell. They're not gonna match him at 130 versus Burchell. Shakur Stevenson will outbox the fuck out of Lomachenko at 130, in my opinion.
I got a question.
So it's like, listen, Loma's best bet, he better hope he could make 126. Because I feel like these guys at 130, 135 are only getting better.
Hey,
yeah. Listen,
hey, you tried it, bro.
Look,
y'all tripping.
No, but you know what? I can't be mad at that because I was thinking the same type of way. Where can you hide it? 130, you got Shakur. You got all the people we was naming already. 135, you got Tank and all them. So where can you put him? If he can't go up to 140, so he has to go back down to 140.
He'll get cooked at 140. Regis, bro, he hit too hard. You see how Josh Taylor could box. I like Josh Taylor's boxing. And Josh Taylor, he looked like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Okay, hold on. Now I gotta go. Ryan Garcia and Lomachenko. Next person is New Meaning. Hold on. I'm about to just go in order. New Meaning. We'll do the speed round so everybody get a turn.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick, man. Ryan Garcia ain't fought nobody neither. Okay. Yeah, he looks good in how he trains. He looks good in the little fights that he has. But who is he truly fighting, man? Who do I think wins? Is that what you're asking, Ego?
Yeah.
Who do I think wins? I'm gonna say Loma.
I'm
gonna get that one to Loma. Because Ryan ain't fought nobody, man. Truthfully.
All right, stack Ryan Garcia Loma at 35.
I'm gonna give the edge to Loma. But it will be a good fight.
Okay, Daniel Mason.
Yeah, I agree with the man. Ryan Garcia ain't got nothing. Like, he has a left hand. Loma can move to his right hand all night. It's not gonna be nice for Ryan Garcia.
Does anyone Tank versus Lomachenko? Does anyone pick Loma?
Hold on. Before we move on.
Okay.
Is Lopez standard or lefty?
Ortho. He's right-handed.
He's orthodox.
He's orthodox. That right hand, he's orthodox.
Okay.
That little left uppy was good too.
Who?
Never mind then. I'm about to say
his little left uppy he was hitting, catching Lomachenko with.
Oh yeah, he kept catching him with that.
That little short uppy was nice.
I seen Lomo jump.
Yeah, he was like lifted into the air or something.
That was a left.
You cut out a little bit at the end, sir. But
that was that left hook to his body that sent him flying up in the air.
Lomachenko versus Tank Davis.
Death
anyone pick
by
Loma?
left hand.
Bro, Tank is an evil little fucker, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, he's like mean. Like, I went to his fight in Baltimore. His trainer, Calvin Ford, he said he seen him work over heavyweights before. You know what I'm saying? It could have, like, I don't think it was like a named heavyweight or nothing like that, but it's still a 200 plus man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
I
I'm
heard
saying.
Tank was busting people's noses and all types of stuff. They said they had to calm Tank down because he was like ruining his sparring partners and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he
Facts.
wasn't taking it easy.
Facts. He was treating his regular sparring partners like he treated Ivan Redcatch. And you can't do
Oh,
that.
that was he
And
violated.
you can't do that when you want, a sparring partner to stay with you for the duration of the camp. Redcatch was probably a one-time thing, so he was like, I'm gonna do it to him. You better be more careful.
He was wasn't he talking? And he said, "Oh, you want me to do it to him?" And he walking him down. That was disrespectful from Tank. That was funny, man.
I think Tank will brutally knock out Lomachenko, like Pedraza knockout, like brutally knockout.
Damn.
Tank will end his career.
Okay.
Tank will retire Loma.
He might retire now off this Tio stuff. Okay. Why didn't Lomachenko fight Mikey Garcia?
Same reason he didn't fight Terence Crawford.
Mikey would have blitzed him.
Same reason he didn't fight Terence Crawford.
Mikey would have dusted him off swifter.
Blitzed him.
Yeah.
Mikey would have blitzed the hell out of Loma. You see
Mikey was strong as hell at 35.
Pause. See Mikey's head, bro?
Yeah.
He said pause. Y'all funny.
But you know what it is? Mikey is so
technical.
So technical that Loma's not gonna get away with that bullshit. And I think Mikey would have walked him down, beat him to the body, hit him with that 1-2, because Mikey has an excellent a 1-2. Hits with the jab first and then comes with the right hand right down the middle. That would have put Loma on his ass. That's why. And you know what is? Top ranked matchmakers, they don't want that fight for Loma. That's a bad style matchup.
Nope.
That's a terrible style. I think Mikey versus Loma looks like Mikey versus Errol. That's what it looks like.
Oh, so you're saying Mikey, Errol, what happened to Mikey to Errol, what happened to Loma versus Mikey? Gotcha.
Yes.
That's it. That's funny.
I see Loma get knocked out personally. I don't even see it going past round 8.
Yeah, that's true because the Errol did go the distance. I think Mikey would lean the man. No, he didn't throw punches for 7 rounds. He didn't throw punches for 7 rounds. So Mikey picks his shots. His left hook is butter. His body attack is net. He dropped Salido 4 times, bro.
And he got good footwork.
Yeah, and you ain't gonna just see. The thing is, Lomachenko. This is why they didn't put the Salido rematch. Mikey Garcia, T.O. They try to front him off for a year or two when he first started calling them out, because you can't do that style that Loma has to just jump in on people, all crazy and brazy. You can't just do that with powerful guys with timing and stuff. Like if he tried that with Floyd, when Floyd's at 35, Loma would be in the tombstone, bro. Like you just can't. Floyd step back game is ill. Check hook game is ill. He was Ricky Hatton Loma. You know what I'm saying? Jumping in all crazy. But
back to the same thing, bro. So you said Tank versus Loma. Tank destroys him. This is the other thing though about Tank. Tank is now acclimated at 135. He ain't got to dehydrate himself to get back and drop that weight. The weight's gonna come off a lot easier when you don't have to lose as much. And believe it or not, 5 pounds, believe it or not, it makes a difference.
No, but his next fight's at 30. So he's actually going back down from lightweight for the Leo.
Yeah, that's why Santa Cruz took that fight.
Yeah, Santa Cruz, he wasn't gonna take that at 35. Bro, that if Leo fought Tank at 135, that would be ugly, bro.
I think Tank is a werewolf in a people's suit.
A werewolf, huh? Why you say that?
So, man, I think he would kill him. If he ever got him on the ropes like T.O. did, T.O. was letting him escape. He didn't cut the ring off as good as he could have. He's more likely falling on him. He did as good. I think Tank get him in on those ropes. I think Tank going to cook him, man, like he did for Pedraza.
Tank too aggressive.
Yeah, not only that, Lomo's angles wouldn't look that weird because Tank is a southpaw also. So it wouldn't work like that.
Yeah. All right, I got a show or a segment on the show. It's called Cap or Nah. So you guys just tell me if this is cap. Ring TV released their pound for pound list. Let me get to the whole top 10, and then y'all tell me if it's cap or it's not. So Ring TV, they got the list. They have pound for pound number 1, Canelo. Number 2, Nayao Inui. Number 3, Terrence Crawford. Number 4, Alexander Usyk. 5, Errol Spence Jr. 6, Teofimo Lopez. Number 7, Lomachenko. Number 8, Gennady Golovkin. Number 9, Juan Francisco Estrada. And rounding off the 10, Artur Beterbiev. Why y'all looking like that? That's a top 10.
Straight up cap.
How is Triple G still in anybody's top 10?
Take Triple G out, man. He up here fighting these dudes.
Truth.
Never heard of.
Hey,
He literally out here fighting taxi drivers and
That is a correct statement. That is a correct
How
statement.
is
Hey,
Usyk on there?
Yeah, how is Usyk on there?
I mean, he
Here's
won the
my-
World
Here's
Boxing
my-
Super Series, so you could say that. And Bellew
I still want
beat
to.
David Haye.
Here's
Yeah.
my point.
They had problems putting Andre Ward on there when he won his series, but all of a sudden, this dude, no.
Here's my thing. Here's why it's
Bro,
capped
they
to me. Here's
Go
why
for
it's
it.
capped to me. Whenever I see these new pound for pound lists, I don't even look at them for real. I search the list, and if I see Loma's name still on it, it's capped.
Hey, Prophet, you cutthroat today. Why you being so cutthroat?
And we're the
Said it.
Charlos.
I'm just.
Bro, I
I'm
don't know
just
where the
saying-
Charlos.
I'm saying
okay.
Loma lost twice now. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like he can't be on there no more. Like you pound for pound losing to 2 fighters. That's what you have to list you for.
Bro, how are you losing? Y'all tripping
Look,
today.
I'm not even gonna say an L will exclude you from the top 10 pound for pound list. I'm not gonna say L does that to you.
I
if you
am
got-
if
you got
the
like
L
30 you got like
Yeah.
34 fights,
you
bro.
got 20, bro, you got less than 20 fights and got 2
Exactly.
L's.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
how
saying.
about a dominant L?
You got 34 fights and you lost 2, but you on the top 10 pound for pound. I'm be like, you know what? He might deserve to be there. But
Yeah.
if you got like 15 fights,
That's different.
yeah, exactly. That's
How does Canelo stay up there fighting these cab drivers? Nobody's saying that. Like, this dude's fighting
Oh,
lightweights and like, how's he up there?
lightweight. Hey, yo.
Hey, Amir Khan, I got my eye on you. Hey, Lomo looks beat up. Let's fight Lomo for the light heavyweight championship. Like, come on, man.
we'll make it a
Y'all
catchweight.
They need to make a new division called cap weight for all these cap ass fights. So anything that
They need
like
to move
Canelo
Spence.
and Amir Khan, cap weight.
They need
Triple
to move
G, Kell
Spence.
Brook, cap weight. That's
They
the
need
new
to move
weight
Spence.
class I'm making up.
Spence need to be like number 2, if not.
Bro, what do black fighters got to do to get like ranked? They got 2 black fighters out of 10.
Be white. They gotta
Get
be
their own
white.
magazines.
Hold on, you said black fighters got to be white.
They gotta be white.
Oh, yo,
And that's my thing. Like they keep moving the goalposts because, you question somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, look at his resume," and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, his resume and shit," and then be like, "Oh, but look at the skill he has." You know what I'm saying? So you can't argue with it because you like, all right. So if we're going off resume, then you got to put certain people up there, and then you get to your middle of your list, and you got somebody. Well, he just looks. The eye test just does that to me. Well, if you're just going off eye test, why Tank ain't on there? Why Errol Spence ain't higher? Why they just keep moving the goalposts for whoever they want to argue about at the point.
Big facts. And the other thing is, if we're talking skill, the highest echelon of skill that we've seen from boxing, in our generation, Floyd Mayweather, and they struggled to even give him recognition. They say, "Oh, fighting Connor's ruining your career." Floyd did it at the highest level against the most champions and stuff like that. I don't see how Triple G is there at all. I mean, he's coming off a loss in my book, what I just watched with Gervonta, and then Jamal Charlo beats Gervonta convincingly, and he's not even on the list. Jamel Charlo just unified. He's not even on the list. How is Inui number 2, and he just got a broken orbital and a broken nose versus Donaire late in his career? Like, Ari, make some sense of this.
So I don't know if I sent you something on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it yet.
Maybe not.
I was going back and forth with Dougie from Ring Magazine, and I said, how is it that Inui's number 2 when you have Errol Spence, who just unified, he's fighting, the most elite welterweights at his weight. Look who's he's fighting next. And his response to me was like, well, Errol's fighting Danny Garcia next, who we have ranked as number 6. and then Newey's fighting Maloney, who we have ranked at number 6. But I'm like, are you really going to compare Maloney to Danny Garcia's resume? And this is what they do.
What? I see it right now. Like Maloney, but okay,
Yeah.
he's ranked number 6, but you could be in a weak division and be ranked number 1.
That's exactly what I said to him.
Welterweight is one of the most popping divisions. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, you can't compare 118 with a weak ass division compared to the welterweight. You know, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a flawed logic because welterweight
exactly.
that's one of the most popping divisions. If you're ranked number 6, then that means the only people ranked higher than you probably Pacquiao, Errol, Bud Crawford, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, something like that. So that you in good company. Maloney, who the 5 people in front of Maloney?
He fucking never won a championship. He had a title shot and he lost. So it's like, but going back to
who on the list besides Errol is a part of PDC?
Nobody.
Good point.
And Ring is owned by Golden Boy, so we already know what time it is.
Good point.
But like I said, I wouldn't listen.
Stack's coming with some heat too. Okay.
Triple G shouldn't be in the top 10. In my opinion, even before Loma lost to Teofimo Lopez, I didn't have him in the top 5. So that means for me, he would be out of the top 10. He would definitely be out of the top 10. Juan Francisco Estrada, I don't know, man. Those paperclip weight classes, I don't really care too much for. So I wouldn't have him in there. Usyk, he's already a heavyweight. I felt like, he was unified champ, but at cruiserweight, that wasn't like a stacked division. It wasn't like,
you bringing up some points. You bringing up some.
Yeah, you don't have all those if he was undisputed, let's say at welterweight, or he was undisputed, let's say at middleweight, which is a stacked division, even though they're not fighting, all the guys are not fighting each other. But okay, then you'd be like, okay, but he's at cruiserweight. It wasn't all that. So he wouldn't be in the top 10. I will make some serious changes. Jermell Charlo will be in there.
He had if any pound for pound list without Mel, it sounds dumb right now. Because this is what I'm not understanding. Jermell Charlo just took a guy who looks scary as hell. Shout out to the DR. Shout out to Jason Rosario. This man just went to J-Rock's backyard, stopped him violently, and coming off that performance, he looked like he carried a lot of momentum into that fight, because in them early rounds, Charlo had to fight smart. You know what I'm saying? He had to box and pick his spot. Rosario looked hungry and fresh. Triple G, he's in the top, and allegedly their cap list, and I thought he lost to Gervonta. And then, like my man Stack said, you look at Usyk, how do you have a pound for pound list that just came out this week if you're not factoring in what just recently happened? Usyk looked horrible to me. He didn't look great versus Chaz Tablespoon or whatever at heavyweight. That's his last performance, and he ain't fought in a year. He about to fight Derek Chisora. So how are you on the pound for pound current list, a new list, but you're not factoring in the Charlos beating Derevchenko and beating Rosario? Usyk ain't fought in a year, and he just looked bad versus the Chaz Tablespoon. And then Golovkin really lost to Derevchenko, who Charlo beat. It's not making any sense unless you have an agenda.
I know
it makes perfect sense if you are Golden Boy in the zone. Perfect sense.
Prophet, you know why?
Because the only fight, according to old media, that happened this year was Lomachenko.
Facts.
According to them, that's the only fight that happened all year. You know what I'm saying? They ain't make no revisions to that pound for pound list after the Charlo fight, after this fight, after that fight.
And they ain't gonna do it after Tank Leo Santa Cruz. If Tank win. Unless Leo win.
As soon as Loma lose, they gotta make changes because there was a fight. That was the only one this year.
And that's a very good point, Prophet. Because I just noticed that Dan Rayfield came out with his, pound for pound list, and he hadn't came out with a list until Wilder lost. So it's like,
it's waiting for certain fights.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. You could tell their agenda, what narrative they're trying to push, and it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Man,
same Dan Rayfield that would not cover an Andre Ward fight, even though he was #1 pound for pound.
any American, and Dan Rayfield's from America too.
Look, man.
Crazy how that
The fact
works.
of the matter is,
All you gotta do,
America
look, this
not getting the same
this
shit.
is how you clear out the list real quick. Usyk ain't fought nobody because cruiserweight didn't have anybody. Yes, he had all the belts. So what? Canelo ran, get him off the list. Compare Charlo and Triple G's fights with Gervonta. Triple G's off the list. Like, oh, you would have really did this. Tio, okay, but you still, yeah, you fought Loma, but you ain't fight really nobody else besides whatever so the next, who else was there? Terrence, okay, you need to be there. You need to be there. Like, yo, the list is real easy. Just look at who they fought or who they're fighting.
Facts. And the other thing I noticed is people make concessions for what they accept. Like you look at like pound for pound lists and when it shifts, like my man Prophet was just saying, and it looked bad to me. It looked real bad just the way certain people try to do it. Because at the end of the day, the fans aren't dumb. They see what's going on. They see the games and what people are doing. And Canelo, he didn't fight Andrade, who's on DAZN. He didn't fight Jamal Charlo, who's his mandatory, but he gets the highest honor, fighter of the year or pound for pound #1. You look at Lomachenko, they said he was pound for pound #1. Why he didn't fight Devin Haney though? That was his mandatory. They both franchised out to not fight their mandatories. And then Canelo, I don't even think he looked good versus Kovalev. I know he moved up in weight, but he didn't really look good for 11 rounds. Charlo's, they did their thing and they won by like competitive stoppage. Like Kovalev looked bad to me. Like he was just his jab. He looked like he wasn't even trying or weight drained or something. So it's crazy how
it's just the whole thing with the WBC as well. Is like Mauricio just makes things up as he goes. Like I said before, and he said, oh well, this is gonna give the franchise, whoever's franchise the opportunity to make the best fight. Well, the best fight would have been Charlo versus Canelo or Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Those would have been the best, the best fights. But no, now, I mean, we don't even know when Canelo's fighting again. But now if he does fight, we're gonna get Canelo versus Yildirim. Come on, it's cap.
Yeah, everybody forgets that Canelo has been doing this for a really, really long time. And the WBC did the same thing to Sergio Martinez with Chavez Jr. They gave Chavez the belt, moved it to him, and then stripped it from him for the same person Chavez beat for the belt. WBC is a terrible organization. Not only that, it seems like they did Deontay Wilder dirty, they did Devin Haney dirty, they did Charlo dirty when he wanted to fight Canelo. It just seems like it's definitely their favoritisms.
Is that a Captain America shield?
Oh yeah, that's my wall of arms, man.
Oh, that's dope. That man got the whole Avenger arsenal.
You got to do something in the Navy.
Yeah.
Look, y'all brought up the WBC. Think about it. You wanted to hide Canelo, you franchised him so he can get away from Charlo. You wanted to hide Loma, you franchised him so he could get away from Haney. But you can't do that to Fury because the agreement for Fight 3 was already signed. So now you're trying to kick Wilder at a heavyweight and make a new division so you can hide Fury from him.
Yeah, and then put big ass, because Joshua muscle bound and Fury weighed 300 pounds, so they would fit in that new weight class. Wilder, sometimes he be coming in lighter, 215, 212 or whatever.
Every time he's done bad, he's been heavy, so they want him heavier to stay in that division.
Exactly, facts. Now, the final topic for this week's Easy Work Wednesday, Leo Santa Cruz, he just had a media day. This is what he said. I will read it for you guys. Leo Santa Cruz said, people are doubting me, so that just makes me want to go out there even more and give a great fight. I want to prove myself, compete, and give it my all. End quote from Leo Santa Cruz. Who picking Leo Santa Cruz to beat Tank? Let's go.
Leo about to get stopped. Let's keep it there. Like,
Hold on, I said who picking Leo? You said he gets stopped?
I don't know if he's going to get stopped because this is Tank's first time making 130 in a little bit. Even though he made it comfortable, he ain't fought at that weight in a little bit.
This fight does not go to 9 rounds.
Leo
He
get-
does get
So
noticed.
even so, Leo never been stopped. You picking him by stoppage?
Yes.
Oh, we doing it. Okay, so we're doing the Easy Work Wednesday the week before the fight because I want to hear this. The fight's now October 31st. Did you guys watch the All Access? Anybody get to see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Saw the first one. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it felt like an All Access because Floyd was talking his talk.
May per view.
Facts.
Hey,
Leo won on the cribs though.
Hey,
Leo-
Leo's crib looks
like
sick.
a resort. His
Yeah.
crib like a resort.
Man, I don't know how much Al paying him with that. That's crazy.
hey, I'm about
Anybody
to,
picking Leo? I know Prophet picking Leo Santa Cruz.
yeah, I'm picking Leo Santa Cruz fans if they want to bet me. Anybody want to bet? Holla
Why
at
you
the
trying to set
comment
him up like that?
section.
If y'all don't know Prophet from Baltimore, so we know who he rocking with.
Oh,
You got the
man.
Ravens on. Yeah. Okay, so how's it end, Prophet? You
Leo,
take us out.
Yeah, it's definitely a stoppage. Like I said last week, Gambo wasn't throwing, just like Loma wasn't throwing in the beginning. So it's hard to get somebody out when they're not throwing. They don't leave any, spaces to shoot because they're in high guard or they're moving faintly, et cetera, et cetera. Unless Leo tries to do something drastically different and maybe tries to box, it's going to be a stoppage, kind of early. I say 7 tops. But I don't see Leo switching up his game plan like that. He's going to come at him, try to, beat him with volume and get him tired and all that crap. Tank wasn't even tired in the Gamboa fight. If you really look at the fight, he was doing jumping jacks in round 11. You know what I'm saying? So
Was
it's
he?
gonna be- it's
I
gonna
was
be
at that
easy.
fight. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, at the end of round 11, he landed a few shots that really, landed on Gamboa. And right before he went back to the corner, he was doing jumping jacks in the corner and looked at him like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then he came out in 12 with his explosiveness and knocked him out. I watched that fight several times, so.
I know you did.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a stoppage because Leo ain't going to be able to help himself. He's going to throw a lot of punches, leave himself open. That sniper left hand is going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to be 9-9.
Yeah, people sleep on Tank's response time. He quick as hell. Like, I was at the Ricardo Nunes fight in Baltimore, and he just, off a clinch, he just came out of nowhere and clipped him, hurt him, and then jumped right on him. It was like murder, she wrote. But listen, we'll save some of the predictions for the next episode because we're going to do that Easy Work Wednesdays. Make sure you guys tune in. These videos will be posted 4:05, right around 4:05 on Wednesdays, Easy Work Wednesdays. Devin Haney, Gamboa, since you said Gamboa, that'll be the last question. What do you guys think on that fight, Devin Haney and Gamboa?
Gamboa's going to retire.
Haney by stoppage, round 5.
Damn. Can Gamboa make it in? Does he have anything to make it interesting?
Speed, if you can find some.
I think it's gonna depend on if he's healthy or not. I think if Gamboa is healthy, I think he could give Haney some work in the early rounds. Haney's just gonna outbox him. It's just gonna clearly outbox him. But I think Gamboa will keep on coming as long as he's healthy. If he's healthy, I think we will be able to tell in the first few rounds, in the first 2 rounds, if he's healthy or not. If he's healthy, I think it'll go to distance. Haney will win by decision, but I think he'll give Haney some good work.
Hold up, Ari. Why wouldn't Gamboa be healthy?
Didn't he have that
ACL?
the Achilles or whatever?
That was cap though. I think
That was cap. He had a messed up shoe, and that was it.
I don't know that I believe the Gamboa injury like that.
No, I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Like supposedly after the fight, he had an Achilles. Yeah. He had an Achilles injury. So if he really had an Achilles injury, then we don't know. But if he's healthy, I think he'll give Haney some good work.
Do you think Devin can find himself in any kind of problems trying to outdo Gervonta? Like, let's say he's trying to impress because Teofimo just looked good. Do you think that adds any pressure? Teofimo just beat Loma and then Tank stopped Gamboa. Do you think he can fight the wrong fight for that?
I think he could get in trouble because Haney doesn't have the type of power that Tank does. And we saw we saw when he fought Santiago. Santiago was was just like an awkward fighter. He was fighting not to get knocked out, but Haney doesn't have the type of power that Tank has. So if he fights the wrong fight, he could get into some trouble, in my opinion.
I think Haney's timing is a lot better, truthfully, than Tank's. I think Haney's a better boxer, like actual boxer, than Tank is. And that's why I see the stoppage coming in. I'm not talking about just from a purely power standpoint. Because truthfully, I thought Tank would have knocked out Gamboa in that fight. However, like, we all know Gamboa
did
really
knock him
wasn't
out.
throwing. He was. I said Tank should have. I thought Tank would have knocked him out, like blitzed him, but Gamboa wasn't throwing. So
No, but I'm saying he did knock him out.
I mean, yeah,
You just mean like earlier?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I don't see Haney having any issues.
All right.
Haney is a better boxer, but I don't know if it's going to be. I know Haney's going to win, but it depends on what Gamboa is there. If Gamboa is throwing, then Haney might get a knockout. But if he's fighting like he fought Tank, where he was just trying to survive, it's going to go the distance.
All right.
Yeah,
That
but do y'all think that Gamboa is gonna give Haney that much respect on his power though? Because I understand, like, I think yes, Haney's an overall better, I wouldn't say better boxer than Tank, because Tank is a very good boxer as well. But what I'm saying is the power. I think Gamboa gave Tank that respect because of the power, and I don't think Haney has that type of power.
I know, but I think Haney will catch him at the right time when he's open and get that respect. You may not have that all-out power, but you get clipped in the middle of your punch, you're going to be like, hold up, I got to think about this. That was pretty sharp. And then when you finish getting out boxing and start thinking about it, Haney's going to go to work, and he's going to start picking him apart through his defense. So he could knock him out easy by just pure work rate.
My thing
Haney
is,
got some surgeon in him.
my take is this: I think the thing is, like, it reminds me of Crawford versus Brook. If I'm thinking of the best Brook, he could give Crawford some issues. If it's the best Brook. If it's the best Gamboa, he could give Devin Haney some issues for sure. But the only thing is, when people have, like, older in their career, we don't know what they're fighting for, or they're like 1 foot close to retirement, and then you're on top of that fighting a Terrence Crawford skillster or a Devin Haney, then it's hard for me to all the way pick them, because I don't know exactly what version of Kell Brook is going to fight and show up. You know what I'm saying?
That kind of sums up what I was trying to say, in terms of, like, if it's like the best version of Gamboa, I think he will give him some good work.
Yeah, because I agree with that. I agree with if it shows up, but the only thing is, when people have nagging injuries and stuff, I don't know who's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? And if he show up like the Tank fight, then definitely going to clip him up. You know what I'm saying? But Gamboa at his, you never know with the veteran, because you look at Dillian White versus Povetkin. They still got some stuff in there. Is this Devin Haney's biggest fight that he's fought? Has he fought someone better than Gamboa?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So you
Like
have
that,
to,
like, that veteran, just like you just said, this is like that veteran show out. Like, depending on how you do here, you can determine.
It's gonna be over for kind of for Kell Brook and Gamboa if they don't at least look good. So they better be training to do something shocking.
Can I make another predict? Can I make a crazy prediction real quick?
Yeah.
I think Crawford beats Terrence. I think Crawford beats Terrence. I think Brook beats Crawford.
Oh, do you?
Or no.
Okay.
I think Kell Brook, bro.
I think if Kell Brook comes in there with at least at 80% of how he came in there fighting Spence, bro. Let's remember, he's had time to heal up. He ain't been doing nothing. So all that orbital fractures and everything like that. He comes in at least 80%. He's going to beat Crawford.
But at the same time, Margarito had that same orbital bone fracture.
Nobody at 147.
Margarito had that same orbital bone fracture, and your boy reopened it. Cotto redid that, and it's both eyes. Not only that, he's coming down from 154, He said he didn't feel right at 147, couldn't make it anymore, and they cut the training time short for him. That's why his trainer didn't take the fight. So
You know, I heard
things
Eddie
are
Hearn's
not
not even
stacking
with
up.
him.
Yeah,
his
things are
trainer's
not
not gonna be
stacking
with
up
him.
for him.
See,
Okay.
that's the only thing is like in a perfect world. I keep saying it. In a perfect world, these fights, you know, they could be kind of challenging. But the thing is, we don't know what version of these guys when it's an older guy. Like what version Povetkin could get old overnight versus Dillian White because he's 41 years old. You know, Gamboa says he's coming off an injury and he's 38 or whatever age he is. Kell Brook, I think stylistically, I agree with all of you guys, to be honest, because I think stylistically, the best version of Gamboa could give Devin. That's the biggest name that Devin's fought at this point. But if he comes half-assed or just like looking for a paycheck, then, you know, he's going to get chewed up ASAP. You know, same thing with Kell Brook. I think if Kell Brook looks like the Errol Spence Kell Brook or the Triple G Kell Brook, if he can like summons this type of performance, it could, I don't know about beat Crawford, but he can give him problems for sure. He can definitely give Crawford problems. But it's hard for me. Boxing has showed me if it appears this way to kind of trust my gut. You know, and there, like Daniel's saying, there's a lot of stuff with Kell Brook, little training camp. You know, your dad's training you now. You left Dominic Ingle. You're not with Eddie Hearn. Both your eyes gave you problems. You ain't fought here since 2017. So my gut is just say Crawford is going to be way too much. But, you know, these are veterans, so you never know.
Look, man, just remember I said it here. We got don't change the recording or nothing.
Nah, I won't. Man, I want to appreciate you guys for joining. This is an Easy Work Wednesday. This is dope. We'll be back. This is gonna air on Wednesday. I appreciate you guys. Somebody take us out. Daniel Mason, you take us out today.
New beater bars is something you got to deal with.
Thanks. All right, we'll be back next week. I definitely, if you guys got time, I definitely want to get a lot of you guys on for the Tank, the week before the Tank fight, because that's a great fight. October 31st, they're doing the all access. You know, they got another one coming up. So we're going to have fun with that. I'll do a Boxingego watch party. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash the like button. Appreciate you guys as always. Peace out. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.